Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, Nerd Mode On, and welcome to episode 18 of Battle Reports, a video series where I'll be going over a particular weapon in Battlefield 1 and breaking down the statistics of the weapon to provide you guys with a better idea of how the weapon will perform on the battlefield. So for today's episode, we're actually going to be taking a look at the M97 Trench Gun. However, in real life, it's more commonly known as the Winchester Model 1897. Now, just in case you guys are not very familiar with this weapon, let's briefly talk about the historical relevance of this particular weapon during this period. The Winchester Model 1897 was a pump-action shotgun that was manufactured by Winchester Repeating Arms Company. The Model 1897 was an evolution to the Winchester Model 1893 that was designed by John Browning. The evolution of the Model 1893 presented many weaknesses, and these were considered and remedied. Since the time this shotgun has been manufactured, it has been used by American soldiers, police departments, and hunters alike. The M97 was popular before the War to End All Wars began. Once the war started, the sales of this shotgun picked up. This was due to many being produced to meet the demands of the military. Once the United States entered the conflict, it became clear that trench warfare was brutal and was required in these close-quarter environments. The trench gun was used by American troops for alternative measures. American soldiers that were skilled at trap shooting were armed with these guns and stationed where they could fire at enemy hand grenades in midair. The result of this action would deflect the grenades from falling into American trenches and therefore saving American soldiers. Furthermore, the trench shotgun fired each time the action closed, which troops coined as the trench sweeper due to the increased rate of fire in these areas. Lastly, the Model 1897 was so effective and so feared that the German government protested to have it outlawed in combat. Now, with a brief excerpt of the history of this particular weapon, let's transfer over to the variant system and discuss what type of variants are available for this weapon. The available variants for this deadly pump-action shotgun are the M97 Trench Gun Hunter, the M97 Trench Gun Backboard, and the M97 Trench Gun Sweeper. Since we've uncovered the three available variants, let's break down what each variant does in respect to the weapon that it has been attached to. For starters, we have the Hunter variant, which provides the user with the benefit of the pellets having a tighter spread, which allows them to have a larger ranged effectiveness. Moreover, this variant in terms of its ranged effectiveness is between the factory and slug variants. Next in line, we have the Backboard variant, which provides the user with the benefits of the shotgun having reduced recoil, thus it recovers better from the recoil that is associated with firing the weapon. However, the damage drop-off is worse compared to its competitors. And last but certainly not least, we have the Sweeper variant, which provides the user with the benefit of the shotgun using shells that increase the pellet capacity, thus it is granted with a larger pellet spread. Moreover, this reduces the ranged effectiveness of this weapon. Furthermore, if a target is caught within the cone of fire, significant damage will occur to the opposition. Now that we've had the opportunity to further break down the variant system, let's move over to the weapon statistics, since this is the most prominent information that you as a player will run into while utilizing this weapon. It is worth noting that we'll only be covering the information that is constant between all variants. As you may have noticed, each variant slightly changes some statistics depending on which variant the user has selected. Starting things off, the M97 Trench Gun has a rounds per minute that clocks in at 138. To put this into perspective, this is the second slowest rounds per minute shotgun that is currently available in the assault category. In addition, the M97 does have a velocity that clocks in at 333 meters per second. Like most shotguns that are currently available in Battlefield 1, this value is actually constant between a majority of the weapons that are shotgun orientated. Now, transferring over to the damage model, you guys will notice that each variant does slightly differ in terms of its damage as well as its ranged effectiveness at certain distances. Be that as it may, we're going to briefly talk about each variant and the maximum and minimum damage that they do at certain distances. For starters, we have the Hunter variant, which is granted with 15 pellets per individual shell casing, which also does a maximum of 8.4 damage until 14 meters. Now, after 14 meters, you're going to notice a gradual decline of the overall damage being outputted at range, and once you hit 21 meters, you'll be doing a minimum of 4.2 damage per pellet. Next in line, we have the Backboard variant, which is also granted with 15 pellets per shell casing that has a maximum of 8.4 damage until 12 meters. Now, after 12 meters, you're going to notice a gradual decline of the overall damage being outputted at range, and once you reach 19 meters, you'll be doing a minimum of 4.2 damage per pellet. And last but certainly not least, we have the sweeper variant, which is granted with 22 pellets per individual shell casing, which also does a maximum of 7.2 damage until 10 meters. Now after 10 meters, again, you'll notice a gradual decline of the overall damage being outputted at range, and once you reach 16 meters, you'll be doing a minimum of 2.4 damage per pellet. Due to how shotguns operate in Battlefield 1, this means that the minimum amount of shells that are going to be required to down an individual target is 1. However, on the flip side of things, if only one pellet is making contact with the enemy player each time you fire the shotgun, this means that technically you could use upwards of 42 shells to down an individual target if you're only making contact with one pellet every time you fire the weapon. Now moving right along, the M97 Trench Shotgun does have a 5-round capacity. At one point or another, you're going to be forced to have to reload this weapon. In any case, initially you'll run into a delay with the weapon considering that the user has to flip it so that you can start reloading shells into the shotgun. Before the first shell is reloaded, it does take 0.7 seconds for this delay to occur. Once the delay has occurred, it only takes 0.5 seconds for each individual shotgun shell to be placed into the shotgun. Now after all shells have been loaded into the shotgun, you'll also come into a delay of 0.17 seconds while he flips the weapon back into a firing ready position. While the M97 Trench Shotgun is a very notorious weapon for the American soldiers that fought during World War I, unfortunately the weapon really struggles to outperform the Model 10A due to the devastating nature of that shotgun. The trench gun possesses many qualities that make it great for extreme close quarters, but the ranged effectiveness and inconsistent one-shot kill zones will make players question whether the weapon is flawed or if their eyes have been deceiving them all along. But anyway guys, this is really all the information I have for you. Hopefully you found something in the video insightful and or entertaining. But until the next episode guys, this has been NMO, and I'm going to be signing out guys. Peace!